Hey everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and a little let's decide what's going to CGC video. This is a little later than I normally go live, so we'll see how many people we have show up. I decided to wait till after Comic Gories. This was really about the only night this week I could do this, and I wanted to I kind of wanted to get through this and get this done. Why? Because I'm trying to get a list together. So we will see if anybody hops in to help me. If anybody wants to hop in and wants the link, I can definitely do that as well. I'm going to set that up so I can actually do that real quick. So that, yeah. So that just so if somebody does hop in and wants the link, they can get it. Sign into my email real quick. There we go. So yeah, so we will see if anybody hops in. Oh, here they come. There's Comic Man Andy. I wonder if they are done already. Kid Collector, what's going on? Discovery Bay, Modern Man is still going on. Andy's doing multiple things. Oh, you want to hop on a few? Okay, send me your email on Instagram, Andy, because I don't know if I have it. And I will send you the link here in a minute. So, House of the End, what's going on? Let's get Disco. Disco. I need to I just want that little thing on the trailer so I can play that whenever Disco's in my chat. Because that's my favorite thing on Disco's channel. And that doesn't mean that is a downgrade of anything else you do. But I just love that little clip. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for hanging out. We're going to go through some books. I have some books. So what's prompting this is normally I don't do CGC orders this quickly. This may honestly be the last one I do this year, depending on budget and that kind of stuff, but probably. Hey, Sam, what's going on? But I have a few books that I'm probably almost guaranteed that are going to be in this order because I want to get them slabbed because I may flip them depending on what happens over the next few months. And so I will start with those. And then I have a huge stack of other potential grade books. IG message sent. Okay, let me dig that real quick. And then we will get, I'll send Andy a link here in just a second. Get IG open. So I can copy that over. And so anyway, I have the 4 books that I potentially will flip depending on what happens in the next couple months. And when you see what the books are, you will know why I'm thinking sooner rather than later. It helps if you hit the right button while you're trying to do this. So you guys know I am terrible at multitasking. So hang with me for a few minutes. What's up, Ben? So do not leave studio. I almost hit the leave studio button. That would have been bad. Let's see. Copy the link. There we go. New message. So anyway, I have these 4 books that I kind of want to go on and get graded in case I need to. Oh, I do have Andy's. There you go. I didn't realize I had it in there. So as soon as I started to type it, so I did have Andy's. I wouldn't have remembered that's what it was though, because my memory sucks. So yeah. So we're just gonna go through a few of these. So probably looking at 8 to 10 books total. It's all going to be moderns because yeah, I don't really. I have 2 or 3 books that I might that would be value tier that I would consider, but I'll probably wait on those. I'll probably do the modern order first. So yeah, let's see. Dave Maris, what's going on? Nola Comics, thank you for joining us. So I will say, well, I'll just wait for Andy for a minute before I get into the books. I will say, I want to thank all you guys that are watching. I don't know what happened today. If somebody shouted me out today or something, because I literally gained 20 subs today, and like my look back video has gotten more views today almost than it had like the previous 2 days. Well, first day it always gets more than this, but like it's like almost at 500 views, which I haven't had one go over 500 on a look back in like 10 months, 8 months, 8 or 10 months. It was last fall. So yeah, so I appreciate, I don't know if somebody shouted me out or what, but yeah, I'm getting, or if YouTube just decided to like run the algorithm today and like promote my channel, I have no idea, but thanks to anybody who's a new sub that's checking this out. I appreciate it. So let's see. All right. So the 4 books, I'll go and pull those out real quick. 3 of them are together. There's 3 of them. And where's the 4th one? Fourth one. Where's the 4th one? In here somewhere. I'm too far forward. Alphabetic. There it is. There's the 4th book. There's Mr. Andy. Hey man, what's going on?
JP, baby, good to see you, man.
Hey, thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging out, man. So, did you like literally go from Modern Men to this, or are you still on Modern Men right now?
So, Modern Men is still running, but we did a premiere because Carson had to work tonight.
Oh, okay. So this is all pre-recorded for once. Okay.
So today's been an eventful day. I went live on my channel, then did an 1.5 hour long Hero Initiative Zoom meeting.
Okay.
Then we rolled into Modern Men after lunch and recorded that. And then I've been watching everybody's shows tonight. So
I was gonna say, I saw you in Comic the whole time, and I was like, yeah, I thought that was like different. And I was like, he's like multitasking. So
I just decided not to get out of this chair tonight.
There you go. There you go. I have not had a chance to go back and watch your Monday haul or this morning yet, so I got to get that done tomorrow. So
I mean, there's so much amazing content. There's so many great and amazing people in this community.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's crazy.
I've gotten to the point where it's like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to keep it sweet, and I'm going to keep it fun. And
right.
Because it's just I always put people's content on watch later, and then I catch up on Mondays and Tuesdays on my days off.
Yeah. Well, I just sort of have given up on completely catching up. I watch everybody at like 1.5 or 1.75 like speed. So then I get like try to catch up and get through as many as I can, and then I'm still always behind. It's just too much stuff.
I've taken to I open 4 windows per screen. The stuff that I've like partially listened to or kind of watched parts of the episode, I put on mute, and the stuff that I haven't heard before, I'll leave that going while I bag and board or I work on something else, or I'll actually sit and watch it because there's just that much amazing content going on, you know?
Yeah. Daymar says short and sweet is the golden ticket. Well, that would be why JP has not gotten to 1,000 subs yet, because I am long-winded.
But you know what's amazing is people are they're really missing out on your channel because you're providing a very incredibly important part of data, right? Your look back at 6 months or so is probably the most important top 10 list out there at all, in my opinion, because of the simple fact that all the emotions are removed.
Yeah.
A lot of the data that you're looking at is post-emotion. Yes. Or pre-emotion, depending on the cycles that you're looking at.
Yeah, depending on where you're at in the cycle. Because a lot of books come and go and come again. And like, yeah, it's a crazy. And I was saying that like while you were getting a beer before you hopped in, like I'd been a little bit like with the look back thing, a little disillusioned because I felt like the same people watch it every week. It really wasn't like, I didn't know what to do with it. Like I was a little lost. And then suddenly, like today, it blew up. Like like this weekend's one, which was as of this morning, was about on pace with normal, which means I'm going to get between 275 and 350 views. That's what every single one of those lookbacks get. Every single one for the last 6 months. This one is currently today, it like blew up. It's like at 4, last I looked, like, yeah, I'll look real quick. 458.
Nice.
So I don't know what happened or what, but so,
I think somebody in the YouTube the hamster wheel, somebody in the YouTube hamster wheel just started running a little harder today, because even the Comic Core gained a fairly large handful of subs comparatively for their channel.
Really? Okay.
My small little channel actually gained, I think, 5 or 6 subs, which could be a bunch of bots storming onto YouTube for all I know. But
yeah, it could be, because I have, okay, because I was at 826 yesterday subs, and I had been at 826 since July 2nd. I dropped a couple, got back up, dropped a couple. Like, I'd been sitting basically at 826 since July 2nd. I picked up 20 subs in the last 24 hours. I'm at 846. I was like, what is happening?
Wow.
I haven't picked up 20 subs and like, so that's why I was saying something at the beginning, because I wonder if somebody shouted me out today or that I didn't see on Instagram or something, because I don't know, I'm getting a Bueller bump or something, because I'm like, that never happens. I pick up like a sub a week. So I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. And I was looking at that today too, because I'm not too far from that 500 mark, and I'm like,
nice.
I need to start searching for something cool yet cost effective to do a community giveaway, right? Like,
right.
I'd never sell anything. I've got a black hole collection, so let me dig through this. Well, what if I buy a nice, cool 9.8 slab, from Slabbed Heroes or something like that? I don't know. I hem and haw, and then I tell myself, oh, I've got plenty of time. I'm not going to hit 500 subs forever. And then all of a sudden, next thing I know, I'm like 6 away, and I'm like, wait, what happened? I'm like,
so I had been thinking to myself that, like, when I got to 850, which at the rate I was going, I was thinking it was going to be like mid-August. I was like, I'll launch my road to 1,000 or whatever sub contest. Well, now I'm at like 846, and I'm like, I don't have any ideas. I don't have like a book. I don't have nothing for a giveaway.
That 129 ain't going anywhere ever. If anybody, hey kid, if you're interested, check out my channel. There's a whole Grail story on there.
The story behind that is awesome. So yeah.
Dude, so you're doing a CGC submission, and I'm really excited, because then when you said, hey, hit me up for an invite or something, like, yes, because you and I have been talking about collaborating for the better part of 6 months.
Yeah, like forever. We've not made it work.
And I've actually decided to start sending off a package to CGC every month.
Oh, nice.
And I'm trying to keep it affordable.
Right.
So I'm actually right in the same boat as well, thinking about what I'm going to send next too.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, so I'll show the 4 books that are prompting me to like go now, as opposed to wait a little bit longer to do it, as I dump the cat off my lap. And so the first one is this one.
Ooh.
And the reason I want to send it now is they're going to cast her sometime in the next 3 to 6 months at the latest. Like, because that's still coming.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the first Kamala Khan?
Yes. This is the first full appearance of Kamala Khan, and she's on the cover. Now, the big money book is Captain Marvel 17, the second print, where she's on the cover, which is her second cameo, is what's actually in the book. And then Captain Marvel 14 is her first cameo. That's a big money. But this is a 9.8 of this right now is running 300-ish.
Seriously?
Yeah. And this book is, so, like, I will show it. Like, this book to me is, other than the corner.
Corners always scare me.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's a bindery thing. The question is whether or not they'll give me the 9.8 or the 9.6. So,
well, I mean, if a 9.8 is $300, it's all
9.6 is like 150, 125.
There's that
and I got $50 in that book.
There you go. Okay, so I was just going to say they got the rule of halves. You know,
Yeah.
whatever a 9.8 selling for, generally a 9.6 should sell for, and then half of that would be a 9.4, and then so it all depends on what your buy-in is at.
Right, and then but if they cast her, that book is probably going to double.
Oh yeah.
So, and we know there's a show coming at some point, so they're going to cast her at some point. So, and it may have to wait till the trailer, but I want to get that book slabbed and ready to go. You've seen this book. I have the 1 in 25 already slabbed in a 9.8.
Oh my God.
So I need to send this one off too. And then the other two are the 2 Kanan books.
Ooh.
This one, I'm pretty sure. Oh, this one, number 1, I'm pretty sure is a 9.8. This one, it needs a press. It may max out at a 9.6. But still, I'm actually got those before they'd come up a little bit, but they hadn't got as high as they got, and now I think they've come back a little bit. They're basically, I think, now about where I bought them, but I got between them, I think I have with shipping and everything, I think I had $60 in the 2 of those. So
okay.
But the Dr. Aphra book, I have I bought it and the 1 in 25 together for $70 like a couple years ago.
Oh, that's a killer deal, dude.
Well, that was like almost 2 years ago at this point when I did that. So,
oh, man.
So yeah. So those are the 4 books that are probably for sure going. The question is, what else do I do with this order? Because I'm going to do more than 4 books. If I'm sending it in, I'm going to do at least 8.
Right. I think I've limited myself to 10 per submission is what I'm going to try to do based on my budget and based on what I've. And I just actually renewed with CGC.
So you got the 150 then?
Yep. And what was great about that is I finally decided to commit to the auto renewal system. So I got a think like a $30 savings. That tier is 150, the one I stay in, the middle one.
Yeah.
But if you let it auto renew, it gives you another discount on top of that, but you still get the $150 credit.
Right. Okay, I did not. I think mine is set up to auto renew, but I don't know that I realized you got an additional credit. So there you go.
It's either $20 or $30. You get a little bit of a discount because you get that email say, "Hey, you're about to expire." If you select auto renew, we'll auto renew you for $119.99 or $129.99 or something like that. And then it doesn't tell you in the fine print that you still get the 150 credit. So hopefully they don't change that and they keep that up. So I sent 10 books out and I'm putting together my next submission and I've got 5 copies of the Vader 3.
Oh, nice.
And 2 are probably going to max out at 9.6. So I don't think I'm going to send those. I'll probably keep a reader copy. And then I think 3 of them will hit 9.8. I've got one back here right over my shoulder that you can just see the 9.8 at.
Yeah.
But it's one of the originals from 2015, 26 when they were experimenting with not having the there's nothing in there. Let me grab that for you actually.
Nothing in there.
When you look at this book, you'll notice that there's no encapsulating.
Oh, it doesn't have the inner well.
Yeah, there's no inner well. So when this book came out, 2015, so somewhere between 2015 and 2017, they were experimenting with not adding inner wells to this slab.
Yeah.
And honestly, this lighting is gonna be terrible. I'm not gonna be able to show up.
Here, let me go big with you.
Yeah. So there's no inner well with this book at all.
No. Weird.
And I think it doesn't move around anywhere near as much as the newer books that have the inner well, but I just, for some reason, it kind of eats away at me without there being an inner well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I might send this off to get reslabbed, or I might just, I don't know, man. So it's one of those things. I grabbed this for $100 before this book got hot.
Yeah. So I will say on mine, this is probably this is another one I think probably maxes at a 9.6. But I'll be honest, I thought the the other one also would max at a 9.6, and it came back at 9.8. So we'll see. So
I'm at this. This is where I sit with that book. We're talking a awesome, gorgeous female lead character in the Star Wars universe that's new, that's almost like a cross between Indiana Jones and dude, she's got 2 murder droids that follow her around. Murder droids
and a Wookiee.
Yeah, and the oh my god. So this is probably my new favorite Star Wars character by far. Now, granted, there's Ahsoka Tano. That book is getting to the point where it's unreachable.
It's unreachable for me at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would probably have to sell a bunch of books to get there, and I don't know that I want to do that. But I'm really excited about Vader 3. I'm glad you bring that up, that you're sending that to CGC, because I'd like to send a couple copies as well.
Yeah, and like, here's my thought on that, and I don't know that it's coming anytime soon. But if you think about it, like Marvel makes a ton of Star Wars comics, but everything but the Star Wars run itself have all been miniseries. Like or Vader. Like they've had a couple of longer Vader runs that have been like 25 issues, but everything else has been miniseries. She went for almost 50 issues or whatever it was, and then they immediately restarted her.
Yeah, she's on her 3rd ongoing series right now, I think.
Well, she was in the Vader series, the first Vader series all the way through. Okay. Then she had her own series, and then this is her 2nd series.
Thank you, yeah.
But they've been sustaining her the whole time. And I hope there's people in the chat. I see people watching, but I haven't seen any comments. I don't know if that's StreamYard or what. But so
hey, TJ the Slab Drag watching.
TJ is here, but yeah. So just because, yeah, I'll show this again. So
okay, so that's on my hunt list for the rest of 2020. And the unfortunate side of things is
that thing's huge, right? Crazy price right now.
The most recent sales of that book are what I would consider the reasonable price. But everybody that has one that is willing to let go of one now is selling it for almost double what the last current sales price is.
Well, that I just like, here's the thing. They announce a show for her, and that book will like double or triple.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to hoard this book. Yeah. I'm not even trying to like stash it or like 198 of each is really what I'm going for. And then, I just stumbled on the other Vader 3 copies. Like, look, this whole ordeal a couple weeks ago, I walked into my LCS and there's nobody in there. I was like, well, I'm going to take my time and go through the bins. Oh, look, Darth Vader 3, $10. Yes, please. Oh, how do you leave that sitting there a couple weeks ago?
You don't.
$10? Yeah, exactly.
So we're 20 minutes in. I haven't showed any of the books that I'm thinking about considering. I've shown
those 4 aren't the ones that, okay.
Those 4 are going.
Okay.
The question is, those 4 are going to go when I send my next order, because I want to and I don't know that I'll move them because I'm really bad about actually selling something once I have it, but potentially I will move those depending on what happens. The question is, what is the rest of my order going to be? And I'll start going through a few of them that I'm considering. Probably won't do this one, but right now, because there's nothing really going on with the character, but that's one I have that's in the stack, and I'm just going to kind of run through the whole.
It's a gorgeous cover, though.
Yeah, my whole stack of potentials.
Okay. Yep.
That's just that's my favorite J. Scott Campbell cover, is without a doubt. Let's see.
It's hard to believe J. Scott's been around for as long as he has now.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he's been around since the early 90s.
92, 93, 94.
Yeah. Needs to go.
Yes. That is a definite yes. I've got 3 or 4 copies in my last batch that I sent out.
So about 2 years ago. Yeah, it's almost 2 years ago now. I walked into, I knew what this book was, and I walked into one of the LCSs that I visit fairly regularly, and I found it in the back issues for $5. And, literally the next day, I got home with it. The next day is when the first rumor dropped of a Silk movie, and it went to $30. And that guy's usually pretty much on top of what he has in his back issues. So, yeah. So he was probably thinking it was still there. So that is probably it's not a for sure, but that one's probably almost a for sure.
If you're into that for $5, I think that is a definite 100% send, buddy. I mean, seriously.
And I think that it's 9.8 potential. I don't know that it'll get it, but to me, it definitely looks like it. It's definitely potential 9.8.
Well, I mean, let's look at your rate of return here. If you were to let go of that book and it came back at 9.6, you would still be You would still be a little more than doubling your money what you have into it, even if you paid CCS to press and clean it, or you paid a third party to press and clean.
Yeah, I will send all of these to get pressed and clean. Probably. So, hey, cool comic guy. Let's see. Osaka. Let's see who else humped in here. Oh, that's it.
I think you're mostly Mylar and halfbacks, right?
My
lights.
Most of mine are in Mylar or fullbacks, or okay. I do have some in halfbacks.
Everybody in the chat take note as JP shares these books. Each one is in a top loader for good reason.
Not all of I don't have enough top loaders that everything is in a top loader, but I'm close to all the books that I would potentially send are in top loaders. TJ has sent everything. Of course, he gets in everything. So I just love this cover. I probably won't send this one yet, just because I'll probably do a cover thing later. I'll probably try to send some keys before I send covers, but that's just kind of where I'm at the moment. But it's at least in consideration. This is my original copy of this.
Ooh.
So for those who don't know, that is the first Cassandra Cain, who becomes the second Batgirl. So that is in here, and I actually have as a potential that was not the other one that actually people have been jumping on a little bit lately is her first appearance as Batgirl, is what that one is. So so those two are a consideration. These are both originally off the rack that I got back in the 90s when I first started collecting. So
nice.
Her first appearance is a 9.8 potential. This is probably 9.4-ish, just because, yeah, it's not in as great a shape, which it's probably not worth it at a 9.4. I'll be perfectly honest.
That sentimental value might make up for it, though.
Oh, well, I mean, it's not going anywhere. That would be something I would just keep because it's for me.
Ooh.
I love this Middleton cover. I'll be honest, he doesn't do very many cons, but I'd love to wait and have him sign this and send it. So that that's kind of the same thing with that Batgirl.
That one's ripe for a remark too, man.
Yeah. I do have a couple other Batman books that potentially 608 and 609. These are both really high grade copies to go with my other 608, which is obviously I have the second print 608 slabbed already. I'll put those over there. So those are some potentials. What else we got? I mean, I could send. People were showing these earlier. I could send these books. I don't think I'm going to send these, but they're in the stack. The punchline.
I mean, if you were interested in having them, what is it called? The fast processing.
Yeah.
And you wanted to let go of them, by all means, but I don't know where that book's going to land.
I don't either. I mean, I think the character does have, no. TJ, I got to do a piecemeal, my friend. I can't send them all. You still have books that you haven't sent. You can't send them all.
Eventually.
Yeah. Eventually I'll get there, but like Sam says, probably both of those books I would save for Middleton. I have a couple of books. These are both also from my original collection that are sentimental books. The two Birds of Prey books, the number one, and then obviously this is the date night book, which is actually got decent amount of value. Plus, for me, sentimental reasons, because those are two of my favorite characters.
So Sam I Am makes a good point. He says slab the punchline 1 in 25 if you're going to let it go.
Yeah, I haven't decided if I'm not really. I collect Batman, so I have a hard time moving that book anyway. I don't see myself, because I don't have extra copies of it with a tear. I don't think so. What had a tear?
Tear or tier?
The tear. I don't know. I'm not sure what he's referring to. He's talking about he had an error.
Oh, but the 89 had a tear in it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I gave away my 89 in my subscriber thank you giveaway, and I gave away that in the Hell Arisen 3 as a package deal, and I am now going through these books, and I'm like, oh, can't wait to read this Batman run. Wait, I'm missing 89.
And it's a pretty good issue, actually. I've really enjoyed the Tinian since he's taken over on Batman. It's been really good. This lead up to the Joker War has been really good.
So you're one of the members in the community that's really. I grew up in a void, or in an area completely void of DC. Not because it wasn't there, I just didn't know it was there, and I didn't read it. You're one of the members in the community that's really helping to educate me, along with the Modern Men and the Comic Core.
Yeah,
there's DC stuff. Like we just read Batman: Court of Owls, and that was probably one of the great. That was an amazing Batman read. Now I've spent the last 20 years thinking Batman was boring. Court of Owls was not boring.
So I will give you a tip, just because Kavi and I just did it recently, and I had never read it until recently. Miss Explained recommended it to us. We did it for Gotham City Chronicles. We did Batman the Cult, and it's from the 80s. It came out kind of around the same time as like Dark Knight Returns and The Killing Joke and all this kind of stuff. It's Bernie Wrightson art, Jim Starling writing. It's a 4-issue miniseries. You can get the 4 issues on eBay for like $15, like the whole set.
Okay.
It's sort of a similar story. Like you could see where Scott Snyder took some of like inspiration from some of it from the Cult story. Nobody talks about it as one of the great Batman stories. I've never really heard anybody talk about it. It's amazing. If you like Court of Owls, you should read it. You would love it. I'm
definitely adding that to the list to pick up then. Thank you.
So Thor number 5. Oh, that recent Thor number 5. Yeah, a lot of people have been sending that. That thing's been going crazy.
I'm still kicking myself for not buying that at my LCS. I was at the register staring right at it, and I'm like, $49. So,
yeah, my LCS does a pre-sale, and like somebody bought it, but I totally had time to like. They do it on YouTube. I totally could have typed in and grabbed it. I didn't think nothing about it. I wasn't even interested. This is one that's in my stack, but I'm gonna like wait for Adam Hughes to sign.
Ooh, okay.
Because he was supposed to be at the Kansas City's Planet Con this year, and I bought it specifically to get him signed and slabbed, and then he didn't show up. Well, then they didn't have the con. So what's up, Superior Review?
There you go. Perry is plugging your channel right now.
Perry is plugging my channel. Well, Perry is an awesome guy, so
he is.
I guess he lurked the whole time during Comigories.
Nope, he's not under my desk.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, so I have a couple other books. I've considered this one. It's not really worth a ton, but it's just another one of my Captain Marvel books that I would be tempted to get slabbed. This one is a debate for me, and I'm going to go big. Hey, Miss Explained, we were just talking about you. I was just recommending Batman the Cult to Andy that you recommended to me because it was so good. So I'm going to show that. I have one of these I sent the last time that's a 9.8 that I would potentially sell. So you can see it. It's got this little discoloration on the bottom. That is the only thing wrong with this book, and it totally looks like a printer error. It's not like water droplet or anything like that. It's clearly like from the printing. It's
definitely not a color rub.
No, it's definitely a flaw from the printing.
I see it. Yeah,
there it is. So I don't know what they would do with that. Like the book is a 9.8 otherwise. Like there is absolutely nothing wrong with this book otherwise. So I don't know what to do with that book. I'll be perfectly honest.
It's a good experiment at the end of the day to see what happens.
I'm tempted to send it just to see what they do with it. I'll be perfect. So,
I mean, if you're confident in that book's grade, confident in the 9.8, and you don't need to clean and press it, you're at what, $12 or $8?
$17, $18.
$17, $18, depending on the tier. Yeah, I can't remember the tiers.
Yeah.
Then you're shipping to and from. But if you're already sending the package and then they're all the same tier as far as grading age, then you're really not into that much for that little experiment.
No, you're really not. So some other stuff that I had considered sending, and this is more like flashback to when I collected originally in college and stuff. So I actually have 2 copies of that.
Wow.
So, and that's a $100 to $150 book in a 9/8. I think both of these have a shot at that. And then this book has, actually I'll put these over here because I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't narrowed my stack down any. And then this book has like jumped up a ton because it's the first Fathom, and there were rumors of a show. So plus that's just gorgeous Michael Turner art. So that's something I've considered as well.
I mean, I'd have a tough time not sending that. I bought everything Michael Turner when I was a kid in the 90s, and all of those were coming out.
Yeah. Oh, I skipped over a book. I also I've considered sending this, but I'm not really in a rush to send that. Technically, that's the first Gotham City Sirens. I don't know. It's not a huge book by any means. I don't know if Cool Comic Guy is talking about the Danger Girl or the Fathom, but yeah. So those were back from when I was in college. Those were original books. I've considered sending this. Unfortunately, my A cover is like a 9/2. It's got like 4 or 5 spine ticks on the back cover. I've considered sending in the B cover. I really want an A cover in a 9/8, but I have not grabbed it yet.
I would honestly not send any of those in and buy up the stock that you're finding online of if you're looking for cover A 9/8. It's probably at the lowest selling point it's been.
It is pretty cheap right now. I should just go buy one.
I think I paid $125 for Die #1 cover A when that first came out, based on all of the excitement, and I overpaid for it. Now you can get a copy for like $80 now, I think.
Okay, out of these, which would you send in? Thor 1 in 25, 1 in 50, an Alf 48 that is CB that might press out some. Of those 3, Thor 1 in 25, 1 in 50. Well, I would probably send the Alf if you thought you could press it before I would send the other 2. I don't know. I'm not sure which Thor series you're talking about and which variants those are, because some of those aren't necessarily worth much, but some of them are. Oh, he's got some more here. He's got X-Force 1, Ji Hung Lee, X-23. Wait, you're talking... Hey, ow, you're clawing me, cat. You're talking about... Well, there's this one. This one I have that's in my cover stack, potentially to send. They come out 3 or 4 times a year back in the night. Yeah. You read my question wrong. I have a Venom 3, but there's a slight spine tear, size of a tick. Could that still be a 9/8? I doubt it. If it's a tear, I don't think they're going to give you a 9/8 for that. My guess is, even if it's super tiny, I would guess you're looking at maxing on that as a 9/6 or a 9/4. Don't you think, Andy? I mean, I'm not a grading expert, but
No, I agree completely and wholeheartedly. Not because I'm unsympathetic to his situation. It's not an oversized book. It's not square bound. There's nothing about that wrapping that should be crazy besides it's just Marvel. And now, granted, when you pick through a lot of those Marvel books, a lot of them are going to have that, but CGC doesn't always recognize those at the top and the bottom as being a printer error. It
depends. So if you're talking about right in the corner, like a little bindery tear, which I don't know if I can get that. Let me go bigger.
I've seen 9/8s like that though.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how big it is. Like that, you're probably okay, but it just depends on how big it is. And if it's in the corner, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I've seen bindery tears like that, or a little bit bigger than that one, get through, and I've seen them not get through. So I'm not 100% on that one. Hey, Zeke Alex, what's going on? Perry and the Lurkers, like one of Perry's 37 channels, is in the house. Thank you, Perry. And I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Funk, what's going on, man?
Good to see.
X-Force costume of that one. Yeah, I have seen that. I haven't ever grabbed that one, but TMNT 100 Peach cover. Ooh, nice.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a good comment to highlight. If anybody is into turtles, go to Google and look up Peach Momoko's TMNT 100. This cover came out before Peach got really hot.
Blew up.
And it is by far the #1 best, in my opinion, Peach Momoko cover ever. I'm really not a Peach fan. I didn't buy any of the Peach Momoko stuff over the last couple of months that's come out until tonight. I went and got the Frankie's variant for Venom 27 Peach Momoko. Yeah. That's because I actually enjoyed that cover. But that TMNT cover, look it up on Google. It is dope.
Yeah. Yeah, I would submit those. If you have the 1 in 25 and the 1 in 50 of those Jane Fosters,
yeah,
how do we get those slab? I will dig to those. So the only hold up on that, Daymares, is because I know you come to Planet Con, because I have 2 copies of the regular that I want to get slabbed at some point, but I'm going to wait till the next time there's a con, because Jason Aaron is at Planet Con every year, because he lives in Kansas City, right near me, and he never has a line. Like, you can literally walk up to Jason Aaron at any point, and because he's around all the time, like everybody in Kansas City has multiple times a year, usually, to get his signature, because he goes to some of the comic shops and he does stuff all the time. So, like, I'm going to wait on those 2 until I get a chance to get Jason Aaron to sign those and get yellow labels. The cat always wants attention, Z. She's ready for bed, and she's like, go to bed so I can curl up next to you. Let's see, where are we at? A couple other books. I have 2 of the 3 Jessica Cruz books that I've considered sending in. You are going to drive me crazy. Go away. So those are potentials. I just don't think there's anything happening with that character anytime soon, so I haven't been in a hurry to send those in.
Get down. Well, let's take a play from your playbook, so to speak, is coming up on your look back show soon here. We should be seeing some stuff for Blade and for Morbius, right, in the next couple months.
Well, Morbius is like the Morbius trailer. Actually, I've been putting together, because this week's gonna be a little crazy, so I actually started putting together Saturday's list. Like, I rewatched Tom's thing for this coming Saturday today, and I looked at the CBSI. I haven't done current values yet, but there's like, this is the week Morbius's trailer dropped. So I haven't looked at current values yet, but yeah, that will be on this coming show.
That was 6 months ago, right?
Yeah.
You're doing everything in that 6 month time frame.
Yeah.
Okay, I was pretty close.
Yeah. Now the Blade stuff has been further. That was more earlier last fall and stuff.
Okay.
So we've had most of the Blade books.
Like, I know I gotta. Hey, who dat?
That's a natural treasure. He's a super nice guy. Like, every interaction with him I've had with him has been great. Probably looking at 8 to 10 books. This is true. HBO Max is going to have some Green Lantern stuff. I don't know who they're going to include in that, so they haven't really said anything. If they include, you got to think if they're going to do multiple Lanterns, you got to think they're going to do a female, which leads me to think that she's probably the one. So, and I'll be honest, that one book I have $2 in, and the other one I think I have $5
in. Nice.
So, I have never gotten the third one. I know there's 3 in that series, but I've never gotten the third one. Other books I have, there's a couple of books that are like, let's see, this is kind of a personal book that would just be to go in my collection that I'm going to do at some point. That's just for me. Because, yeah, that's my guy. That's my series. I don't know that, I'm not necessarily in any hurry, but I just do need to do it at some point. Let's see what else we got. That's just a cover that maybe I would slab. There's a cover that I might send off at some point.
Ooh.
Let's see. This one is actually a birthday book as well as obviously a good one. But this is probably 9.4, and these are not that hard to find in like a 9.8.
Oh, really?
So I don't know that I'm going to slab this copy as opposed to just look for another copy. Like, or just, I know the 9.8s have jumped. I kind of missed my opportunity to get a 9.8 cheap. But there's a bunch of 9.8s, 9.6s out there, and I don't think this is that. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this book ultimately, or this particular copy. Justice League Rebirth with J.J. Abrams. I thought they were doing Justice League Dark with J.J. Abrams. Thor God of Thunder is an awesome read. Yeah. Let's see. Only thing I'm thinking of, Thor God. Yeah, Gora's Power from the Dead. Then King's Gate. Yeah. So I'm just looking at the chat. Sorry.
No, yeah. I think one of the extra things that I'm looking at sending in this time is I got a couple of ASM 101 reprints, the second prints that I want to send.
I do have the other book of the Punchline book.
I still regret giving mine away because I'm like, there's no way this is really gonna blow up. And then sure enough, it's like a $60 book now. I was like,
yeah. And then this is another one I have, but I want to wait for again an Adam Hughes signature on that one too.
Yeah, could you imagine that with a golden signature with a remark or something?
Oh, I know. Yeah. And then the other book I have, which is not really worth much at the moment, but that I'm considering sending is.
So that's her first solo title, correct?
Yes, that's her first solo title.
It could be something soon.
Yeah, the one I want, and it actually, when all this recently blew up, all the Miles, Gwen, Silk stuff has blown up here in the last month or two, is the 1 in 25 of this is gorgeous. It's a Stacey Lee cover, and it had been going for, like 40 to 60 raw, like 100 to 150 9.8, and I had never pulled the trigger. And it hasn't really been selling, but now people are asking like 300 for a 9.8 and like 150 for a raw. And I'm like, well, shit. So it's like, I don't really want to invest that much in it. I do not have the Spider-Man Noir. So that's about the stack. There was one other book I had in the stack, which was this, this is the first Blackfire. This is not a huge book. This was actually an A-OK from Big Will, but this is like 9.8 for sure, almost. Like this is a really, really nice copy. So
that's probably what, a 75% cover price on that. So that's a 30-year-old book at this point.
60 center. This is from probably this is number 23, so probably 82-ish.
Oh my. Almost a 40-year-old book.
Yeah. So it's So so I don't know. I haven't really graded my Gwen Hughes cover. It's the rarest of the Gwen, all the Gwen Miles. Yeah, that is I would love to have that book. I do not. I do not have that book. I mean, the other option is I have a couple books that I could crack and press and send, but I don't think I'm going to do any of that right now. So right now, what we got, I think for sure going is the 4 I talked about, the Marvel Point 1, the Darth Vader, the 2 Kanan books are for sure going. The only other for sure I really have in my mind is I think this one's going for sure. I think where are we at? I don't think that one's going.
D-Rock, you're so late. You're even late to the recap, buddy.
You're missing the recap. We're just going back through. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to send here. We're trying to finalize right now, man. Let's see. Of the one, let me narrow down here. Actual things I might consider. I think I'll put that in the consider stack. I don't think I'm going to send that one now. That's a no. That's a consider. Whoa. That's a consider. That is, I think that's a no for now. I'll go through the ones I'm gonna. I guess I could do this real quick as I try to drop something. Let's see. Let's do this. So, ones I'm going to consider here still, potentially for my other 3 to 5 spots. I'm going to consider that one. I'm definitely going to consider that one just to kind of, like I said, like we talked about, thinking about one of those. Again, that's as much for me as anything. Thinking about that one.
Oh, man.
I don't think I'm going to send that one. That's the Birds of Prey #1. I don't think I'm going to send the Captain Marvel #1. I don't think I'm going to send the Sirens or the Die. I don't think I'm going to send those right now. I mean, this would be purely for me, but I think I'm going to wait on that one as well. I don't know about the 2 Hush books. I think I'm going to wait on the 2 Hush books.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's just irritating. Like, oh man. Then you start making a second pile or a third pile. You know, you start prioritizing your piles.
Yeah. That one's already in the stack, D-Ruck. Yeah. So, oh, okay. He's saying that's the one he's referring to. Yeah. I think I may send this one for sure. I think I'm just going to put that in the stack. I don't think I'm going to send this one yet because it's not like 9/8 potential. What was the other things? Like that all-new Wolverine and that other ASM book. Those are covers. I don't think I'm going to send any of the Punchline books just yet. The 2 Jessica Cruz books, those are in the possible pile. The Nightwing book's going to go in the possible pile. That's a cover. Those are covers. I think the Spider Woman, I showed that one. I'm gonna wait on that. I want a little better copy, I think.
Big Will says he has arrived.
Hey, Big Will. So we're almost an hour in, but we're TJ. You left, TJ. These I'm going to wait on because I think I'm going to try to get Aaron to sign those. I'm going to wait again. Like I said, I think I'm going to wait on the Punchline.
Oh, I like Papa Runk's question here.
What is it? I'm looking at 8 to 10. So right now.
So he's going to send 12.
No, I'm not going over 10.
I'm kidding.
I'm not going over 10. So right now I have 6 in the, for sure. The point 1, the first Kamala, the other Darth Vader, the 2 Kanan books. Those are going. The original Sin and the Batgirl are going. So those are 6. That's 6 books. So I got 2 to 4 spots left. Things I'm still. I think the trades that were stacked. They were stacked on top of. Still considering sending this. That would purely just be for me. Well, so is that Batgirl one. The 2 Jessica Cruz books. Damn it, TJ. I already said earlier you missed it, TJ. That's actually a birthday book, so there you go. So I might as well just get it out of the way. That's at least more reasonable than some of the things you might chase. The Fathom book, which TJ I'm sure loves, the Michael Turner, because TJ is a big Michael Turner fan. The Captain Marvel, like I said, just because I'm curious as much as anything of what they will do with that little ink spot that's like clearly to me looks like it's from the printing, but we'll see what they say about that.
You could always put that on a separate pile and do like a pre-screening submission of 25 or more, I think.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll ever do that many because that's a big chunk of change.
That's a lot of books, yeah.
Silk #1, just as the other one, and then obviously I have the 2 copies of the Danger Girl book. So I think that's they drop a notepad. So what is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books for 4 spots, 5 spots. So So that's not too bad. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do these two Batman Hush books. I don't think I'm going to do the other Birds of Prey book. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do any of those others.
Big Will's with TJ here on this.
What's Big Will saying?
He says, "Send them all, man.
Send them all." Yeah. Where do you buy books online? I mean, I've bought a lot of stuff from eBay over the years. I haven't bought very much from auctions, usually because I'm looking for something very specific. Like, yeah, if I'm not buying something off the rack, I'm looking for something very specific. So I do a lot of eBay stuff. I have bought from other members of the community a couple of times, like directly and not necessarily through an auction, but yeah. So I'm not the best one to know for that. There's other people that look at a lot of other places than I do.
MyComicShop.com is awesome. They have great packaging. I know the unfortunate side of things, though, is if you're buying within the United States and shipping to Canada, there's going to be higher shipping fees.
Yeah.
Worldwide Comics is another one that does an awesome job packaging their books. I usually keep like a whole set of tabs here for all that stuff. My Comic Connect and Metropolis aren't too bad. They take a long time, though.
I am tempted to include this, just because this is a really nice copy.
It's almost 40 years old, too.
Yeah, it's almost 40 years old. Big Will sent this to me. I'm tempted to send this sucker too, because I don't see a spine tick on the damn thing.
9-4. That's no bad juju. No bad juju. I'm sorry.
Well, honestly, and it's kind of like the Teen Titans 2 he sent me that I got slabbed. I wouldn't necessarily care. But I don't know that this book is worth sending unless it's like really high grade. But like, not that I really care when it comes back. But I love this George Perez cover with Starfire and her sister. And yeah, I might throw that in the stack. I think I'm throwing that in the stack for now.
I'd have a hard time not sending those J. Scott Campbell Danger Girls and the Michael Turner ones, but that's just me personally.
Send them both.
Well, yeah, that's that super white cover. The whole back is white too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So if I do that, if I throw those in, these guys would have to wait, and that would give me, this would be the order, because I think that would get me to 10, I think. So that would be the Marvel, the Kamala Khan, the Darth Vader. There's 2, the 2 Kanan books. There's 4. ASM 4, there's 5. The Batgirl, there's 6. The Titans is 7.
Nice.
8, 9, 10.
Ooh, I mean, you don't have to submit both the Danger Girls if you don't want to. I'm just saying, if it was me, I would probably go ask the boss for more allowance to just add more books to my signature.
Well, unfortunately, I am the boss, and I know what the budget is.
Oh, okay.
and as it is, I'm not pushing it to send 10, but like 10 is realistically, this is probably the last CGC order I'll do of the year. I'll be honest. So
it's a good round number, right?
Yeah, and I figured I would send 10. I got the money to where that wouldn't hurt me too bad. And that would be a big chunk of books from my 2 slab stack. I mean, that's 10 books coming out of my 2 slab stack.
Now, do you prefer to use a third-party presser and cleaner? Or
I use a third-party presser. The first time I used DS, when I did that this last time, I used, like, the very first time I submitted books, I sent 3 books to CBCS and 3 books to CGC just to try them both, and I used their in-house pressers, and they were just so slow. What is he saying? Put it in the pile. I don't know. Sexy cover sentence. Let's see.
No, I agree with you. I've used CCS pretty regularly, and I'm at a little over a month right now with my most recent submission. And I use CCS because of the convenience factor. Now, that being said, I do have a side submission that's going to CGC that's being handled by the Geek Aficionado.
Yeah.
and I have another side submission that's being handled from another cleaner presser that's going. So I don't send. If I have things going to CCS, it's because I'm confident they're a 9.6 or better, and I'm just making sure they're going to be back.
12 sounds better.
Right, he didn't say 24.
Yeah, well, Big Will said you're missing another 15 bucks. So, like the last time, so I did that a year ago, and then I hadn't sent any till I sent those ones here a couple months ago, and I sent all those to DS to be cleaned and pressed. And he basically, like, I probably will send these to him again because he said basically in another couple weeks he should have room for me to send him some books. Yeah, there's a couple other people I've thought about if he's busy. Like, I thought about sending it to Midwest Comic Man Paul, like contacting him because I know he's really good. I've thought about Jimmy, like Geek Aficionado, because he had pressed a book he sent me earlier that turned out really well. So I don't know. Those are probably those three are probably who I would use to press. I probably won't use CCS again.
Yep.
I've heard enough I haven't heard enough horror stories from them that I'm just like, and they're slow.
I mean, if I've got a dollar bin book that I think is a 9.6 or better candidate, then I'm comfortable sending it to CCS because I feel like I can argue a little bit with them on the phone and try to get things right.
Yeah.
If there is an issue. But like Geek Aficionado's handling my Saga Mexican variants right now, which there's only 3 on the census for one, and there's like 4 of one on the other. So they're like at 9.8. Yeah. Super hard to do because they were a poly bag thing and they were almost a cardstock cover. So it's like a Ultimate Fallout 4 meets a cardstock cover type scenario where it's like, oh my God, this is indented in there. And then DS is actually going to do my G.I. Joe 21 in my.
Oh, nice.
I found a Mark Jewelers variant Volume 2 Punisher #1.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Never heard of one. This is definitely going to top out like an 8.5 or a 9, but DS is going to handle that for me as well.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Erod as well, Big Will. Like, there's several like quality pressers I think around, and so I think I'm just going to try to support people in the community that do it, as opposed to send it to CCS.
So you keep that money in the community and you keep it as low as possible. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know that this is for sure the final order, but this is where I'm leaning tonight, and I think we'll wrap this up. We've been on an hour. It's 11 o'clock here. I don't know what East Coast, it's midnight, but I think I am probably going to send the Fathom. I'm leaning toward sending at least one of the Danger Girls. If I decide I want to send something else, I'll pull one of these, the worst of these, out and just send the good one, and maybe slide something else in. But I am going to send the Titans.
Nice.
I am going to send the Batgirl. I'm going to send the ASM. And then obviously the 4 that I originally was going to send, because the 2 Kanan books, the Darth Vader, and the Kamala Khan book. In case I want to have those in case there's some kind of announcement. I think if I'm going to send something else, like, and replace one of the Danger Girls, probably either this one, or just because it's like my favorite, just to get it done. Probably those 2. I think I'll hold off on this one, and I'm going to hold off on this, I think, for now. And because I'm sort of sending that in as an experiment, and I have other books I want to get slapped. It's kind of like, whereas, and I think I'm going to hold off on the Silk for now as well. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with that. Like I said, so, I mean, I could go up to 12 and include these 2. I need to double check pricing and where I'm at, but I don't think I want to quite go that high on a submission. But yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Hey, Carlito, what's going on? Oh, you're good, Oregon. So we're about through it. If you go watch the rewind, it was like 20 minutes before I showed anything. Because because we were talking.
You showed a book, and then you showed a couple of books. I was like, oh, okay, he's sending 4. And then we just started going on, and I was like, oh, wait, you haven't showed him yet?
Well, I showed the 4 right off the bat that I was for sure when we started that I was going to send. And then the rest was trying to figure out kind of the rest of the stack. But yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with that stack, honestly. So
that's a great mix-up, man. That's a great mix of books.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, they're all books that I want to have eventually slabbed. So it's kind of a fun. It's all modern stuff. It's kind of a fun mix. So
here's one quick question before you wrap up.
Okay,
are you going to peek at the grades, or are you going to do a blind unboxing?
The last time I did it blind, I managed to wait. It was the hardest thing. It was so hard not to look. So I'm going to try to do that, to not look again. But I'm really, like, typically I'm weak and will give it. I would probably give in, but we will see. But I made it the last time, so surely I can make it this time. That's what I'm.
I think that's my favorite part about CGC books now is the blind unboxings that the community does.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but I will put off and I will not peek just for that rush and that experience to go live, to be able to share with people my failures and my successes in that avenue, because it's a lot of fun.
Damer's throwing out another option. Star Wars 42 that might hit a 9.0. That's a big book, man. Those are obviously Star Wars 1 and Star Wars 42 are obviously books that I would love to have at some point, but
I'm willing to bet that I would, paying attention to your show, depending on how things fall, that 42 is going to hit another low before it peaks again.
Probably. They're talking about him getting his own show though. So,
but I feel like, you know, when they go into production, there's going to be a fairly decent gap before we actually see it. Right.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'll be honest. Like, the Star Wars books probably have a little bit of time on them. But I'd like to get them just in case there's some kind of announcement and they go crazy. I'd love to track down another copy of that Darth Vader 3. But so I could keep one and sell one.
And I actually think Darth Vader 3 is cooling off a little bit.
It has started to come back a little bit. Like all the Star Wars books, like the Kanan books, have actually started coming back a little bit from the kind of the peak. They're not all the way back down, but they're not like they peaked. Like the number 6 peaked about $50, and it's back in the 30s to 35 range kind of thing. The last couple I was looking at, or 30 to 40 probably solidly. So it's trickled back a little bit. This one got as high as like 2025, and I think it's back down under 20 for the most part. So now this book, I think it's trickled back a little bit. It's probably, but it's still probably $50-$60, I think.
Really?
I think. Maybe not. Maybe I haven't looked the last week or so.
I've been following that pretty hard, and I think 40 is probably
where you can, around 40 now.
There's a lot of buy it nows for 50-ish to 60, but I think realistically, if people start putting it up for auction, I think 40 is where some are settling.
Nice.
But I mean, I don't know, man. Mandalorian season 2 is coming this fall, so
yeah,
the Darth Vader 3 and a lot of those other books could see a spike and have nothing to do with Mandalorian 2. Just it could reinvigorate people's passion.
The craziness.
Yeah. I could talk all night long, man. So at some point you just.
Oh no, you're good. I was just seeing Matt was hopping in the chat. I was seeing who was hopping in the chat, and
hey, Matt, man. Thanks for an awesome episode of Comigories.
Yeah, that was a great episode tonight. I was going to start at 9:30, but they ran long, so I pushed back to 10.
I was like, oh yeah, we're doing a Modern Men premiere. Oh, I get to watch Comigories tonight. And Matt hit me up some time ago, and he's like, hey, are you interested in being on? I'm like, absolutely, but let me check my calendar. Then I realized that I had 3 other events in front of this computer. I was like, I will. Unfortunately, I hate to graciously decline and do it another time, because it's just it's hard to have fun when you start fitting 5 or 6 or 7 different things into a day.
Yeah,
and that's Comigories isn't something I'd want to approach at, you know, with 20% left in the tank, so to speak.
No, definitely not. And so I know he's talking about, like, I know there's a few people that struggle for Mondays, and I know he's talking about maybe doing a show on another night, so so he can fit some of those guys in. Congrats to me for donating. D-Rock. I love the modesty, D-Rock. I love the modesty. So
too legit. Speaking of D-Rock, I haven't seen content in a hot minute, man.
Yeah, it has been a little bit. He's been a little, you know, I'm sure he's got some books coming. I think he's got some CGC books coming back here pretty soon too, I think. So
nice.
I'm sure he'll have something out here before long. Yeah, I kind of wanted that. I almost pulled the trigger on the Ray Peach Momoko cover, and I didn't do it, and because I really can't. I'm trying to avoid just buying those damn random
store variants.
Yeah. Some of them I fail and buy anyway, but I try to avoid them if I can. But yeah,
I almost caved in for the Yoda one.
The Yoda one is really good too. They're both.
Now that one's actually kind of expensive, I think.
Yeah, they're both expensive, I think. So,
oh, man, I did cave in for the Venom one tonight that Frankie's did.
Did you?
Yep. I
caved in for one of the Harley ones that they did for Batman Adventures. The second one I caved in on and grabbed. Daymares is trying to get me to cave on a Ji-Hung Lee Batgirl this weekend. He said, "Did you see this?" I'm like, "Yes, I saw it. Don't taunt me. I'm trying to cave."
Oh, this community is the best, and yet sometimes the worst.
And the worst, I know. Yes, I know you told me to on those Yoda and Ray one. I know. I didn't do it though. So. Yeah, there's just too many of those kind of things. It's like, oh, that's really cool. I should get it. But I'm trying to like focus on bigger books that I really want and not spend on smaller books is what I'm trying to do. But sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. Yeah. So
Oregon, I got the set with the trade and the Virgin, and then I turned right around and like, well, I might as well order a CGC 1-2 really quick because he was offering CGC 9/8 that. And I thought I learned my lesson. A number of months ago, earlier this year, Amphoris Inc. did that Shannon Mayer 80th anniversary Catwoman.
Yeah,
it was a gorgeous cover, and I'm like, oh, I should get this. And I intended. I purchased it intending to do an AOK for Bear Island Comics. Yes, CGC 9.8 of that. I have several messages into Amphoris Inc. like, hey, okay, I know the situation in our world isn't great, but where are you guys at with these? Zero response. They took my money, and I have had zero response for
that's not good.
4 or 5 months now. And I bought it as an AOK for Bear Island because I knew he liked Amphoris Inc.
Okay, yeah, that's not who I bought mine from.
And usually people are like, yeah, they're not great at getting messages out, but when they get the books, they do send them out. I'm like, okay, I'm not too worried. But I got really worried when I caved in and said, this isn't working out, Adam. I mean, like, I did this, and he's like, I hate Shannon Mayer. And I'm like, shit. he's like, I don't like Shannon Mayer as an artist. I'm like, oh, okay. So far I'm batting 1,000 here. I'm glad they didn't ship that book yet because maybe I can get my money back. So I'm on the hunt for a new AOK for Bear Island. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's the other thing I need to do like this fall is I got about 4 or 5 people on the AOK list I got to get to that I keep putting. I've been putting it off, and I just need to get it done.
Yeah, and I don't want to find random stuff. I want to find something that really speaks to them.
Yeah,
and AOKs don't happen very quickly.
No, you have to find the right thing, and like there's a couple. I mean, yeah, you gotta take your time and do it right if you're gonna do it. So, that is for sure. Well, gang, I think it's a little after 11, after midnight on the East Coast. 6-month waiting book from CBCS. Yeah, Tacoma was saying, don't send them to CGC. And then he's saying, He's ripping on CBCS. So yeah.
Yeah. I do want to try CBCS one of these days, but
I'm tempted to, like, I got a couple of books that are CBCS. I'm tempted to send like a reholder just to like get the new holder. But I know if TJ's still in here, he will like give me angry faces if I send something to CBCS.
Oh, that could be why. If he's getting the signature verified on that, that could be the extended wait.
It's the first appearance of Silk with a Stanley stick. Oh, if they're doing that thing takes forever. If the red label stuff takes forever. Don't give me a man to be retaliatory. Hey, I already owe you Revengerosity, Daymare, so don't even think about it. You're already like, it would already be Revengerosity, so don't even, yeah. I'm not afraid to mail them. Yeah, you gotta watch out. Like, some of these people in the community, you anger and they'll send you like crazy shit. Like, and by crazy I mean like super valuable and books they have no. See, there he is. I knew I would get to that.
Just send them all. Just send them all.
Send them all to CBCS. I do want to see the news. Like, I have a couple books that I wouldn't necessarily want to, like, aren't necessarily worth sending to CGC. Like, that I wouldn't be. It'd be interesting to spend the little bit of money and just get the new holder. But I don't know that I'll do that. Yeah, the red label is forever. It just, although I think they've went away from the red label. I think they're gone to just yellow.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's what I'd heard. So, yeah, I totally understand that. Hopefully you'll get it soon.
I'm going with the Metarog philosophy. Send nothing and enjoy opening the books.
There you go.
Well, you got to just buy 2 copies. Send half and then read the other half.
Yeah. Well, right now I have 31 slabs in my collection, so it's not like have gone crazy. So this would be a big addition if I send these off. But most of these are stuff that, like, if I want to read them, I'll just go online and read them. I don't want to crack anymore. I want to keep them in really good shape. So it's a PGX. Do you need TJ? That would go over well. All right, gang. I've said this like 4 times, but this time I mean it. We're 118. Andy, you got anything coming up you wanted to pitch while you're hanging out here?
Dude, I just love hanging out with you, man. I really appreciate it. We've been trying to collaborate for a long time.
Hopefully I know.
We can do something again.
I'm terrible.
Hit me up anytime. I always have things going on my channel. The more I try to put stuff together, the more I get to interact with the community, which is awesome. And everything we've got going on the Comic Core channel is awesome. So I appreciate it, man.
Awesome. So things I got coming up in the next week. Thursday night, we're doing volumes 2 and 3 of East of West.
Nice.
Me, Kavi, Bear Island, and Hialeah. So we're doing so next indie show is Thursday. Saturday, we are doing Batman Year 100 with Old Wolf. Kavi and I are doing that with Old Wolf. So that's our next episode of Gotham City Chronicles. I should have another look back on Saturday, and then after that, I'm going to try to get a Let's Collect out next week if I can get my stuff together, and then the next story for the indie show is God Country with The Boy Who Had 7, Mr. Garrel, and Backseat Driver. So
nice.
Oh, what did I do now? Oh, I think he's cursing at Daymare, not me. That's good. TJ's angry at somebody else now. Oh, hang on. We can't go just yet. TJ says his week's damage on Instagram. He just sent it to me, so let's see. I gotta give him at least a reaction here before we
mobile devices unite.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right.
I haven't been able to look
9 new messages, 9 new photos. Oh my goodness. So Sweet Jumbo some of those, yeah, that's another like a bunch of looks like at least a couple of Turok, Son of Stones.
Ooh.
I don't know what's going on with my thing. Why I got so small? Oh, like 3 Turok Sons of Stone, 4, 5, a whole bunch of Turok Sons of Stone. Yeah. I'm just gonna put this part up, TJ. His comment at the bottom.
I need to be stopped.
Oh yeah. Oh, hang on. I got trying to send him gifts. Mysterious Suspense from Charlton. I've never even seen that before. That's a cool book.
So I think TJ's telling us he's going to be at like 2020 next week.
Oh, he's 2020 already.
He's beyond 2020 for 2020. Oh,
I don't know. I think he might be beyond 2020.
Wow. Impressive.
Sweet Justice League.
Ooh.
Yeah, a whole bunch of Turok, a Phantom. Those are cool.
Wow.
So, yeah, TJ with fire, as always. So, all righty. Batman Year 100. What happens? He gets up, breaks a hip. This is one, I will say, like, I have read it at this point already. I'm going to try to read it again before Saturday. Kavi has been, like, pushing this one from, like, almost the beginning of us doing the show that we need to do that. We need to do that. So this is one Kavi really enjoys. It's all Paul Pope. If you're a Paul Pope fan, this is all him. I think it was 4 issues originally, a 4-issue mini. Yeah. Find out what we think on Saturday. I think it is my turn to host this time. So
usually I have to catch your Thursday show on the replay before I go live. I try to catch the first half of it, but I look forward to that, seeing you guys on there.
We try to get off the air before you get started, but we don't always make it.
No, I've stopped worrying about who goes live, when, and what, and I focus
so
more
hard
on the replayability aspect of things. Yeah,
it's just so hard. There are no openings anymore. Somebody's live all the time.
Correct. Yes.
So. All right. This time I mean it. Later, everybody. I'm ending.